Drink with, so I just have to drink all by myself. After all, this is a very special occasion. Premiere of Mansion of the Damned. It's not quite like the old days, is it? God. Every limousine in Hollywood. And the lights. Those great big searchlights probing the sky. And crowds. Hundreds, thousands of people. Oh, and cameras. Microphones. And now, I'm having my Hollywood premiere at home. Just me and my little video cassette machine. The world is certainly changing, isn't it? Not for the better. Very well, Owen, my darling. Let's see what our big picture looks like on a tiny little screen. Nola Patterson in Mansion of the Damned. Oh, thank you, Owen, billing me out of the title. What a nice gesture. What a shame Elliot isn't here. Well, I'll just have to be an audience of one. Frugativi et appellavi, Prince of the Darkness. You're beautiful, Nola. You were never lovely. I gotta start a whole new trend with this picture. To the chambers of hell. Oh, your servant, Hester Atherton, begs the mercy of the Master of Hades. The door. Thus do I. Maybe Elliot has changed his mind. But there is no change. I'm not myself.
May I come in, Nola?
You come in. I've been having the most wonderful time. I've been attending my first preview of Mansion of the Damned. And you know something? It's marvelous. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yes. I can see that you're enjoying yourself.
Oh, you mean this? I would have preferred champagne, but there isn't any in the house. Can I get you something?
No, thank you. This is official business.
Oh, dear. I know just what you're gonna say.
Do you think you could possibly turn that television off?
You're gonna complain to me again about my nasty little practical joke. Well, I'll tell you what, darling. Would you accept an apology? I'm feeling so good this evening. I want to make friends with the whole world.
I'm glad you're feeling in high spirits.
I am, and it's not because of these spirits. It's the movie, darling. You know, I really think that's why I did all those nasty little things. It's because I was so nervous about how Mansion of the Damned was going to turn out. I mean, the actors never really know how a picture is going to turn out. Not until the final cut. You can't tell if it's going to be a lemon or a lollapalooza. You probably never heard that word, did you? Because I haven't seen the second half yet, so I don't know if the ending is as good as the beginning.
But we both do know how the story ends, don't we?
Yes, happily. Hester Atherton gets exactly what she wants.
Evil triumphs.
Well, isn't that the charm of the movie? No ordinary happy ending.
I know another story that doesn't have a happy ending, Nola.
Oh, really?
The Draper Scott story. Suppose you know where he is right now, don't you? On a train, heading for prison.
What a pity. I'm sure he's a very fine young man, basically. But he should have learned to control his temper.
Nola, Draper Scott did not kill Margot Dorn.
Huh? If I didn't know better, darling, I think you were the one who was drinking. But I can see you're horribly sober and very unhappy.
The only reason I'm unhappy is because it took me so long to get at the truth. And because I couldn't find out the truth sooner, I had absolutely no choice but to provide evidence against Draper.
Yes, he's your friend, of course. That's why you'd like nothing better than to prove someone else did it? That's why you work so hard to railroad poor Elliot.
Ah, we were wrong about Elliot.
Well, nice of you to admit it. Too bad he's not home to receive your apologies.
Yes, we know that Elliot didn't kill Margot, even though he had a very strong motive. In fact, it was the same as yours.
Only criminals have motives, darling. I'm only an actress. You want to see?
No, thank you, Nola. In fact, I came here to show you something. Have you ever seen this before?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Deborah. And as for that, I assume it's somebody's hairpiece?
Yes, it is.
Well, then perhaps I've seen it on somebody's head.
It belonged to Margot Dorn.
Oh, how nice for her. I must say, I never realized the lady was bald.
She wasn't. She wore this hairpiece on the occasions when she didn't want to do her own hair.
That's hardly unusual, darling.
I suppose you're quite accustomed to hairpieces yourself.
I've worn every conceivable kind in my career, darling. Surely you remember that magnificent fright wig in Mansion of the Damned?
Ah, yes, and I also remember the lovely little gray wig you wore in Mansion of Deborah.
How clever of you, darling.
But of course we never made the connection between Hester's wig and Mrs. Corey's wig and Margot's wig. You see, we only found out that the wig was stolen a couple of hours ago. And of course, who searches an apartment for something like this when they're looking for clues?
And just where did you find the wig, Deborah?
I think you know where I found it, Nola. And I think you know what it was used for.
I know nothing of the kind.
It was quite a make-up triumph of yours, wasn't it?
What?
Nola, you wore this wig the night that you murdered Margot Dorn.
And just where did you find the wig, Deborah?
I think you know exactly where I found it, Nola. Just as you know exactly what it was used for.
I know nothing of the kind.
It was just one more make-up triumph for you, wasn't it?
What?
Nola, this is the wig you wore the night you murdered Margot Dorn.
You're mad.
Why don't you try it on for me, huh? I'd like to see what you look
Where
like
did
in
you
this
get
wig.
that wig? What right did you have
What right did I have to steal it from you?
How did you get to this house? It's illegal search, you know. It's not evidence. It's all a plot, a trick to incriminate me. You planted it in my bedroom. Yes, that's what you did. I've always heard about police planting evidence, and now I see it with my own eyes.
In your bedroom. Why did you keep it, Nola, huh? Why didn't you burn it? Did you want it as a souvenir of that night? A little memento for your scrapbook of memorable performances?
You don't know what you're talking about. You're simply trying to
It was your final performance, Nola.
Something.
You played the role of Margot Dorn.
I didn't. No.
I suppose you've heard by now.
Heard what?
The train wreck.
What train wreck?
Draper Scott is dead. He was killed on his way to prison. I suppose that's one way to escape.
I'm too late. I'm too late. Oh, God. How could such a terrible thing happen?
I'm sorry, Deborah. I thought you knew. I thought the police had everything covered.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, God, it's so wrong. It's so unfair.
Oh, yes, you're the one to talk about unfair. Elliot, if you could have heard the ridiculous accusations she's been making.
Nola, you're drunk.
You wouldn't blame me for drinking if you'd been here. If you'd heard what she said to me, you wouldn't believe it. But of course, I do believe it. Because we both know how desperate the police have been to try to get their precious friend Draper off the hook.
Nola, haven't you heard what I've been saying? Draper Scott was killed in a train wreck at Grand Falls.
Are you sure, Elliot? Has it been confirmed?
I'm sorry, Deborah, yes. Draper is dead. So is the police sergeant that was taking him to prison. They were both still handcuffed.
Oh, how grisly. But who knows? Perhaps it was some kind of providence, a sort of mercy killing, don't you think? The poor man faced years and years in prison.
It was for nothing, Nola. For absolutely nothing. Because he didn't kill Margot Dorn. You know he didn't. You killed her.
Deborah.
There. You see what I mean? You see what I've had to put up with while you were out doing whatever it was you were doing? She comes into this house with that ridiculous wig.
The stolen wig, Nola.
Please, darling, stop this. For heaven's sake, don't you realize you don't have to play this game anymore? You don't have to find some way out for your friend Draper. He's gone.
That doesn't change what you did, Nola. Doesn't change the facts.
Deborah, you're upset. Look, Nola couldn't have done it any more than I could have done it. Draper was alone with Margot when it happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. He was alone with her, but not when it happened. Margot was attacked an hour before he even got there.
What?
It's true. You know, I really found out. I finally understand exactly what happened in the penthouse that night. And it's so simple. It's so much simpler than I ever imagined. You were at the penthouse an hour before, Nola. You gave your name as Nola Patterson. You went to see Margot to make one last try at changing your name to Nola Dorn.
I know the game you're playing, Margot, and I think it's despicable. You want to punish Elliot. You want to prevent him from being happy.
Preventing Elliot from doing anything? He's quite a free fellow to do whatever he wishes. He could institute his own divorce proceedings.
Oh, you know he'd never succeed. You'd fight him.
Oh, I wouldn't have to fight very hard. Do you want to know why?
No.
Well, I think you might benefit a little from some of the details, my dear.
I don't want to hear any cheap gossip from you.
Oh, it's hardly cheap gossip. Not where Elliot's concerned. Oh, no. His lady loves have cost me a pretty penny. For instance, my maid, Sarah.
Look, stop this. I don't want to hear anything against
If
Elliot.
you only knew the kindness I'm trying to do to you.
For God's sake, I'm sick of hearing about the great favor you're doing me. I know all about Elliot's philandering. I know exactly what I'm getting. But I can tell you this, Margot. Loneliness is no favor. Haven't you discovered that?
Yes, I know all about loneliness, Nola. But I also learned something else. That with dignity, loneliness suddenly becomes a little more bearable. Now, you ought to try that sometime. You might learn something by it. Excuse me. Hello. Oh, Draper, yes, how are you, dear? What? Oh, you mean you and April would like... Oh, I see. What do you mean? Yes, I heard about that. Poor David Henson died. I'm sorry, poor man. Draper, whatever you heard was probably grossly exaggerated. That woman David married never cared for me very much, and What? No! Draper, no, I don't want you coming over in this mood. Look, call me tomorrow when you've calmed down a little bit, and Oh, all right. But you'll have to give me a little time. I have an errand that I've got to run. Make it in about an hour, all right? Goodbye. Sorry, Mrs. Madison, we're going to have to cut this conversation short.
You can't do that. This is terribly important.
Look, it may be important to you, but I have to do the 11 o'clock news, and if I don't get a wig over there to the hairdresser, I'll never get ready.
Margot, we have to talk. You can't just walk out on me.
It's not a question of walking out on you. It turns out my son-in-law is coming over here in a terrible rage about something, and if I don't get this thing to the studio, I'll never be ready for the news.
God, it's stifling in here. I don't get some air.
Nola, please, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Just like that. Get out. Go away. Curl up and die. Nobody needs you anymore. Nobody wants you anymore.
Elliot certainly doesn't want you. He wants your fame. He wants your wealth. He doesn't want you.
You're a liar. You're a jealous, frustrated, vindictive woman. You hate Elliot because he loves me. Loves me, not you.
For heaven's sakes, talk about love being blind. You are a complete idiot. And what are those doors doing open? For heaven's sake, it's breathing.
Margot! No! God, it was horrible. The terrible sound of it. The way her eyes rolled back into her head. And the way she fell to the floor like a bundle of rags. And the wind blowing in from the terrace. God, the coldest wind I'd ever felt in my whole life.
Oh, my God, Nola! How did she just vanish like that?
Why don't you tell us, Nola? You were there.
Yes, I was there. I was there in that room with her. Only she wasn't her anymore. She was a thing. A loathsome thing. I thought she was dead. Out of Elliot's life, and my own life could... No, it wasn't that simple. I suddenly realized I'd become a criminal. And criminals are punished. It was so quiet, except for the wind. But I found myself thinking clearly. I began to think of what I must do. Fingerprints. Oh, there mustn't be any fingerprints. And then I remembered I had a little less than an hour before Draper Scott was going to be there. did Margot say? He was in a rage? Yes. He was coming over in a rage. Then I saw Margot's wig. I knew exactly what I was going to do. Exactly. I was going to leave the building as Nola Patterson, but I was going to come back as Margot Dorn. It was almost exactly an hour later I came back to Margot's apartment house. I'd seen Draper Scott parked outside, waiting for his mother-in-law. But when she walked into the building, her collar up against the cold, not even the doorman knew the difference.
Ah, good evening, Mrs. Dorn. How are you this evening?
All right, Oscar. Listen, my son-in-law will be here any minute. Let him come straight up.
Ah, yes, ma'am.
And in the elevator, I pushed the button for basement. Then I pushed the button for penthouse. No one was in the basement. I hurried off to the street exit while the elevator climbed back to the penthouse floor. It was there when Draper arrived. And while Draper was looking at her, I was on my way home. I was a fool to save Margot's wig. But then I've always been a one for scrapbooks, reviews, clippings, reminders of my best performances. And you'll have to admit, that was one of my best.
Nola, this isn't the wig.
What did you say?
This is just one exactly like it. I asked the Mystique Hair Salon to create another one for me.
It isn't Margot's wig?
No. Any more than you were Margot. All right, we'll be here. Nola? Steve and Owen will be here soon.
Owen? Does he know the whole story, too?
Yes, he does.
But I haven't seen my movie yet.
Well, you could go ahead and watch it, Nola. They won't be here for a while.
Oh, how very sweet of you, Deborah. It's very thoughtful. Elliot, did you hear what Deborah said? We can watch the movie. We can see it before the public does. Isn't that nice?
I'm sorry, Nola. I'm really not in the mood for light entertainment.
Are you going someplace?
Yes, I am. We're both going someplace, aren't we? And it's not Hollywood, is it?
Elliot, we'll need your testimony, you realize.
You needn't worry, Deborah. I'm not planning on leaving Monticello, just this house. The original mansion of the damned. I'm sorry, Nola.
But Elliot, please. What I did for you. She wouldn't give you a divorce. There was only one answer.
It was the wrong answer, Nola.
Elliot, if you leave me, I'll have nothing. Nothing at all.
You'll still have your movie, Nola. And if it's any consolation to you, I think you're a marvelous actress.
Yes. I still have my movie. Wasn't it magnificent? Wasn't it my very best performance?
Oh, yes, Nola. It was a wonderful performance. Critics are going to rave about it.
You know, I thought it was going to be just a little picture, just a nice, modest little thriller that would come and go and be seen no more. But now, I wouldn't be surprised if it became some sort of classic.
Yes, it could happen.
It might even be an award-winning performance. Do you think that's possible?
I don't know, Nola.
I've been nominated more than once, you know. And sometimes the Academy members give the award to actors for their past triumphs, not just for the present. Do you think Mansion of the Damned might do that for me?
I certainly hope so.
Deborah, has she really confessed?
Yes, she's willing to give a full confession.
Oh, look.
Nola, I heard the whole story.
It's really going to happen. Finally.
I've got the limousine outside.
A limousine. Oh, how very thoughtful of you, darling.
Yeah, well, I was going to use it to go to the airport, but now...
Oh, and the movie is wonderful. It's simply enchanting. I'm sure that's what the critics will say. Nola Patterson is enchanting as Hester Atherton, the lovable witch, the magnificent monster. Oh, darling, thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I want to thank my director, my beloved son, and all my friends who never lost faith in me through all the long years of my absence from the screen, who knew that someday...
No, Nola.
Oh, don't worry, Owen. I know I won't be there to receive the award. Someone else will have to accept it for me. Who will, Owen? Will you?
Yes. Yes, I'll accept it for you, Nola.
Excuse me. I think it's time we go.
Oh, right. Steve, her coat's in the closet.
I'm ready.